Another type of truss is a space truss. In our previous lecture, we actually talked about plain trusses only, which is yung quote-unquote two-dimensional trusses. So what is a space truss? A space truss consists of members joined together at their ends to form a stable three-dimensional structure. So, 3D na yung truss natin dito. We also have what we call the determinacy and stability of space trusses. Actually, we have the same formula, B plus R, but nag-iba lang dito, 3J. Now, for you to easily remember our formula for stability. Now, di ba, ang plane truss, it is a two-dimensional truss. So, therefore, our stability here is B plus R and 2J kasi nga two-dimensional yon. But space truss, it is what? Three-dimensional. So, our equation here, B plus R, then 3J. Kasi three-dimensional siya. Okay? Same principle po regarding here. If it is less than, unstable truss. If it is equal, statically determinate. And if it is greater than, statically indeterminate. But you also have to check the stability. Most of the time, pag chine-check natin ang stability ng truss, we are looking for the lateral bracing. Of course, we also have the components, which is the X, Y, and Z. Now, from your plane truss, our components there is just X and Y. So, here, nadagdagan lang siya ng isa actually. So, you have the Z squared there and the FZ squared. So, ang length natin would be equal to square root of X squared plus Y squared plus Z squared. Then, our F is equal to square root of fx squared plus fy squared plus fz squared. Then we also have delta x, delta y, and delta z that is just equal to the head minus. So later on, we will go through with this one. Then our fx is equal to f delta x divided by L, and fy is equal to f delta y over L, and fz is equal to f delta z over L. So you have this equation. So before we solve for the components of our forces in three-dimensional figure, we also have to decide our sign convention. It is up to you kung saan nyo gustong gawin yung positive or negative, but you have to be consistent in all of your solution. Kung ito yung positive, dapat lahat ng solution mo dito lang yung positive. Consistent. So if this is my x and y axis, yung y value ko, asan ko ilalagay yung positive? So most likely, di ba, ang going upwards, that is positive. So dito ko ilalagay yung positive y. Then dito yung magiging negative y. Then our x-axis, saan ko ilalagay yung positive? So it is much better for me to place it here. Kasi di ba sa Cartesian plane yun naman, nung two-dimensional, it is like this. Then here naman, this would be my negative value of my x-axis. Now, how about my z? So, yung papunta dito, sabihin ko nang this one is my positive values and going there would be my negative value. Okay, so let's summarize. Axis, yung upward ko, it is positive and yung downwards, that is negative. Then, how about the x-axis? So for the x-axis, going to the right, that is positive. Going to the left, that is negative. Then my z-axis. So my z-axis is going to the front, that is positive, and going to the back, that is negative. Okay? So meron na tayong sign conventions. So let's take an example. So meron tayong force dito. So say 12 kilonewton tong force na to. Then, yung mga distances or dimensions, say this one is 8 meters, this one is 6 meters, and this one is 4 meters. Okay? So, the first thing you have to do here is to define first your axis. So, say this one is my y-axis, this is my x-axis, and this is the z-axis. Then, let's draw the component. So, ang component natin ito, this would be the fx, this one is the Fy, and this one is the Fz. Then after drawing our components, let's do the coordinates. Now say dito ko ilalagay yung origin. So if this is the origin, yung coordinates natin dito, x, y, z, that is 0, 0, 0. Ayan. Okay? Then how about here? So this one, ano yung x natin dito? So our x, so going to the right, so that is positive. Positive, what is our distance? Our distance there is 8. Then, our y-axis. So, ang y-axis natin going upwards. So, positive din siya. 6. Then, we have your z. Yung z natin going to the front. So, positive din siya. So, 4. Ayan. We already have our coordinates. Then, afterwards is our delta x, delta y, and delta z. Now, how will we solve for that one? So, our delta, it is head minus toe. So if you have a force here, this part is your toe. Then this part is the head. So for our delta x, head minus toe, 8. Then minus our toe. So ang x natin here is 0. So that is equal to 8. Then delta y, we have 6 minus 0, that is also 6. Then delta z, that is equal to 4 minus 0. And this is equal to 4. Now, may sign convention din po tayo sa delta x, delta y, and delta z. Now, if you say positive, so therefore, yung direction natin ng x natin, it is going to the right. Pero kunyari kung negative to, negative, say example lang ha, negative yung lumabas na sagot. So therefore, yung force natin at Fx would be going to the left. So yung sign convention natin dito would be for the direction of our force. Pero as you can see here, ayan, positive po yung mga direction natin. Kaya lahat ng ano natin dito, lahat ng answers natin dito are positive. Then, para makuha natin yung components, we have our equation na Fx is equal to F delta x divided by L. Now, how would we solve for L? So, our L is just square root of this value. So, we have 8 squared plus 6 squared plus 4 squared. So, that would be 2 square root of 29. So that is our L already. Then we will just substitute our values to our formulas. So ang Fx natin would be equal to 12 kilonewton kasi that is our force times delta x, which is 8, divided by 2 square root of 29. Then our Fy, the same then. So our F, that is 12 times our delta y, which is 6, divided by our L, 2 square root of 29. Then our Fj would be equal to 12 times 4 divided by 2 square root of 29. So let's simplify. 48 square root of 29 divided by 29. So, ito na po yung magiging component ko at Fx. Now, how about Fy? So, that would be 36 square root of 29 divided by 29. So, this is our component at Fy. How about Fz? So, this is 24 over square root of 29 divided by 29. So this would be our component at Fz. Okay, the next one is we have our types of reactions at space trusses. So we have what we call your short link roller, slatted roller constrained in a cylinder, and your ball and socket. So for short link, we only have one reaction. Pag roller, again, one only. And if you have slotted roller constraint in a cylinder, you have two. Then pag ball and socket, you have three reactions. For example, Determine the force in each member of the space truss shown. The truss is supported by a ball and socket joint at A slotted roller at B, and cable at C. Joint A, you have a ball and socket reaction. So, going back to our figure, we have this one. Yung ball and socket natin, meron tayong reaction at X, Y, and Z. So, therefore, here also, meron tayong X, Y, and Z. Then at B, it is a slotted roller joint. So let's go back again to our figure. So it is a slotted roller here. So ang reaction natin, it is at X and at FZ. So pag ganito siya. So therefore here, our reaction here would be here and here. Ayan. So pag hindi kayo sure sa mga reaction, you could always go back to this figure para alam nyo kung saan yung magiging reaction nyo. So, ang reaction natin dito, as our plane, it is BX and BY. Okay? So, here, ayan, meron tayong BX and BY. Then, we have a cable at C. So, cable siya. So, therefore, pag ganyan lang yung magiging reaction natin. Okay, so after our free body diagram, we could already solve our thrust. Or unang-una sa lahat, we would start at the reaction. Same process sa plane trusses. So the first thing you have to do again is to solve for the reaction. So dito din, solve for the reaction. So remember, we are solving a three-dimensional thrust. So, ilan ang magiging equation natin dito? Actually, we have 6 equation for a space thrust. We have the 6 equation of equilibrium for 3-dimensional. Meron tayong summation forces at X, summation forces at Y, and summation forces at Z. So, ano yung tatlo pa? Tatlo lang to. So, kulang pa ng tatlong equation. We also have what we call your summation moment at X-axis, summation moment at Y-axis, and summation moment at Z-axis. So, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 equations. So, therefore, pag nagsosolve tayo ng reaction, ilan dapat ang reaction na unknown? Definitely, dapat 6 din. Para 6 equations, 6 unknowns, you can solve everything. So, therefore, this is just a determinate structure. So, ilan yung reaction natin? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So, we can solve this structure by just using this 6 equation. If you don't know where to start on what equation you will use here, your summation forces X ba, mauna, Y, Z, is it moment, x-axis, y-axis, or z-axis? You can actually do this also. So, isa-isahin natin. We also have to define first our sign conventions. Kasi dito sa una nating example, ayan, yung axis natin, you have your y-axis here, z-axis, and x-axis here. So here, nag-iba kasi siya. This is the z-axis, this is the x-axis, and this is the y-axis. So let's define our sign convention. So if this is the z, so ang upward natin positive, this is negative, then this one is positive, negative, this one is positive, then this one is negative. Okay, so this would be my sign conventions. So, for summation, forces at x is equal to 0. Ano yung positive ko? Going to the front. That is my positive. So, let's take our structure. So, ano yung mga x forces natin dito? So, we have the ax. So, ang ax natin, that is, assumption natin, it is negative kasi going to the back, negative. Then, we have your by here. It is going to the front. So, it is positive by. Then, wala na tayong x. So, this is equal to 0. Then, ano pang equation? Summation forces y is equal to 0. So, ano yung y ko dito? Going to the left, negative. Going to the right, positive. So, we have my ay here. this one, this is positive. So that is AY positive. Then what else? We have the BY. Our BY here is negative because going to the left, BY. Then we have your CY that is also negative. CY is equal to 0. Okay, what else? Summation forces at Z is equal to 0. So upward, that is positive. So we have our AZ that is positive. Then what else? We have the 600 there that is going downward. So negative 600 is equal to 0. So in this equation, masosolve na natin yung AZ kasi yan lang naman. So i-transpose lang natin yung 600. Our AZ here would be equal to 600 already, pounds. Then what else? Summation moment at x-axis is equal to 0, clockwise, positive. So, saan ang rotation natin? Nasa x-axis. Saan yung magro-rotate? Now, meron din tayong palatandaan for that one. So, for x-axis, ang iikot lang dito would be forces at y or forces at z. Pag y-axis naman, ang iikot dito are forces at x and forces at Z. And how about Z? Ang iikot lang dito, forces at X and forces at Y. So, bakit ganyan? So, pag ito yung axis natin of rotation, say maglalagay ako ng force here. Ayan. So, Fx. Would this rotate? And this is yung line of rotation natin. It would not rotate kasi nasa plane of X ka. So, for here, our AX would not rotate. BX also would not rotate. How about our AY? Would it rotate? No also, kasi nasa line of action din siya. Wala tayong magiging moment arm for AY. Also AZ, it would also not rotate because it is at the x-axis. So what else? Ano pang iikot dito? So we have the BY and the CY. So our BY here, paano yung rotation niya? It is going that way. So that is counterclockwise. So negative BX times our moment arm. So anong moment arm natin? So from here to here, that is 8 feet. So times 8. Then we also have the CY. So ang CY natin, our rotation is also like that. So that is counterclockwise. So that is also negative CY times what is our moment arm? So here to here, that is also 8 feet. So 8. Then what else? What would rotate? So the 600 also, kasi nasa Z to, forces at Z. So the 600 here, what is the rotation of 600? It is going like that. So that is positive kasi clockwise rotation siya. So clockwise, positive. Then what is our moment arm here? So yung distance mo from here to here, that is 8 feet. So times 8 is equal to 0. Then another, summation moment at y is equal to 0, clockwise, positive. So ang rotation natin would be here. Ayan. So, dito ang rotation natin. Line of rotation. So, lahat ng AY hindi magro-rotate. So, let's remove this, and remove this. And also, yung AX natin would also not rotate because it is at the line of action, and yung AZ because it is at the line of action. So, ano yung magro-rotate? We have BX and 600. So, yung BX natin dito, what is its rotation? So it would rotate like that. So that is counterclockwise. So negative times what is our moment arm? Our moment arm here would be here to here. That is 8 feet also, 8 feet. Then we have the 600. So the 600 here, ano yung rotation niya? It is going that way. So that is clockwise. So positive times our moment arm. Our moment arm here is here to here, that is 4 feet. So, times 4 is equal to 0. So, masasolve na natin yung BX dito. So, ang BX is equal to Okay, so ang BX natin, it is 300 pounds. Then, summation moment at day is equal to 0, clockwise positive. So, our line of rotation would be here. Yan. So, ano ulit ang hindi magro-rotate? So, yung AX natin would not rotate. Our AY here would not rotate because, again, it is at the line of action. So, yung BX din natin and our BI would also not rotate. How about yung 600? Yung 600 natin also would not rotate kasi yung force niya at they axis and we are taking moment at they. So it would not rotate. So ano yung iikot lang? We have the CY. Ayan. So the CY, what is our rotation here? So it is going that way. So that is clockwise. So positive siya. Times our moment arm. So this to here, that is so this to here, that is from our previous example, from our previous figure, our length there, oh, it's 8 meter, it's 8 feet. So 4 feet plus 4 feet, that is 8. So our moment arm here is 8. Then, we don't have any loads that would rotate. Yung AZ natin would also not rotate. Okay, so therefore, this is just equal to 0. So, na-solve na natin yung CY natin is equal to 0. Then, after doing that one, meron na tayong mga forces dito. We will just back substitute. So, yung CY, ano bang may CY dito? Yan. So, this is equal to 0. Oh, sorry, this should be BY. Ayan, BY. Ayan. Yan. So here, masasolve natin yung by, which will be equal to 600. So our by, it is 600 pounds. So what else? So here, meron tayong nakuha na by, that is 600. Then our cy is 0. So ang ay natin dito is equal to positive 600. Then, how about here? Our BY, na-solve din natin siya na 600 pounds. Oh, sorry, this should be BX pala siya. Sorry. So, our BX, na-solve natin siya as 300 pounds. So, ang AX natin dito is also 300 pounds. So, na-solve na ba natin lahat ng reaction? So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay? So, okay na yung reaction natin. So, we already solved all reactions. Okay? Then, what is the next process here? We can already do method of joints. Now, remember, sa method of joints, hindi tayo nagsa-summation moment. So, how many equations do we have in method of joints? So, we will have summation forces X, summation forces Y, and summation forces Z. We have 3 equations. So, ang joint natin would start at 3 members. So, pwede ba tayo mag-start at A? So, at A, you have 1, 2, 3, 4 unknowns. So, can we start at E? Hindi din pwede because you have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yan, you have 4 unknowns. Pwede din ba tayo mag-start at joint B? We can. So, we have 1, 2, 3 forces here. So, we can start at B. What else? Sa C, we cannot start here because 1, 2, 3, 4. So, ang requirement, you only have 3 unknowns. How about at B? So, 1, 2, 3, we can start at B. So, we have 2 choices. We can either start at B or start at D because you have 3 unknowns. So, let's start at joint. So, my axis here, this is D, this is Y, and this is X. Ayan. So, at joint B. So for joint B, we have BX BX, 300 pounds, going to here, 300 pounds. Then we have BY. BY, it is 600. So going to the left, 600 pounds. Then what else? Then our force members. So our force members, we have BC. So here, say, let's assume everything is in tension. So this is BC. Then what else? We have AB going down. That is AB. Then we have BE. Yeah. So this is your BE. Okay? So, ano yung mga naka three-dimensional force dito? Hindi siya halata dito, but yung BE natin, three-dimensional force siya. So, i-explode lang natin to. So, this is my force BE. Hiniwalay ko lang siya para makuha natin muna yung mga components natin. So, this is my joint B. Then, this is my joint E. Ayan. So, our component here, this would be Fx. This is the Fz. And this is the Fy. So, ang B natin, this would be our coordinate 0, 0, 0. How about our E? So, lagay muna natin yung sign convention. Yung X natin dito, it is going to the back, so negative. Then, ang Y natin going to the right, positive. Then, ang Z natin going down, so negative. Okay, so let's go back to our figure. So, what would be our X value? So, ang X coordinate natin dito, so if this is 0, 0, 0, so what is this one? So, ang X value natin dito is 4. So negative 4. How about our Y? So, ang Y natin, it is here to here. So, that is 8. Positive 8. Then, lastly is our Z. So, ang Z natin is here to here. 8 din siya. So, negative 8. Yan. So, we already have our coordinate. So, ang kukunin natin is yung Fx, Fy, and Fz. So, let's start first at delta X, delta Y, and delta Z. So, ang X natin, that would be negative 4 minus 0. So, that is negative 4. Ang Y natin is positive 8 minus 0. That is positive 8. Then, ang Z natin is negative 8 minus 0. That is negative 8. So, again, yung sign convention natin dito is just directions. So, our L here is equal to square root of 4 squared plus 8 squared plus 8 squared. So, ang L natin is equal to 12. So, 12, that is our L. So, our Fx here would be equal to Fbe, our delta X. So, that is negative 4 divided by 12. So, this is negative 1/3 of Fbe. Then, our Fy is equal to Fbe times positive 8 divided by 12. So, this is positive 2 divided by 3 Fbe. Then, lastly is our Fz. So, our Fz is Fbe. Negative 8 divided by 12. So, this is also 2/3 Fbe. Negative. So, we already have our components here. So, again, our sign convention here shows the direction of our component. So, ang component natin for Fbe would be Fx. It is negative. So, it is going to the back. So, this one, it is 1/3 Fbe. Yeah, you don't actually need the negative here kasi yung direction nga yung negative sign natin. Then we have Fy. So Fy, positive siya. So going here. So this would be 2/3 of FBE. Then lastly is our FZ. So ang FZ natin negative. So it is going downwards. So downward siya na 2/3 of FBE. Ayan. After our components, we can already solve our forces by using summation forces, X, Y, and Z. So let's start at summation forces at X is equal to 0. Going in front, positive. So we have 300 here, positive siya. Positive. Then we have yung BC, negative BC. Then we have this one. So negative also, 1/3 FBE. Then what else? So this would be equal to 0. Then summation forces Y is equal to 0, right, positive. So we have 600, that is negative. Then we have positive 2/3 of FBE. What else? So this is equal to 0 already. We don't have any Y forces. Then summation forces Z is equal to 0, upward, positive. So we have negative AB going downwards and negative 2/3 FBE. Okay? So this is equal to 0. So masasolve na natin yung equation natin. So we have BC, BE, and AB. Okay, so we have BC is equal to 0. Our BE, positive 900 pounds. Positive siya, so therefore it is in tension. Then our AB, it is negative 600 pounds. Negative, so it is in compression. So, na-solve na natin yung BC, BE, and AB. So, let's place it in the figure here. Dito ka na lang ilagay. So, we have BC, that is 0. Then, we have the AB. Our AB is negative 600. Then, our BE, it is positive 900. So, 600. So, let's say 600 compression. Then, 900 tension. Ayan. Then, we can proceed. So, saan na tayo pwedeng mag-join? So, we can proceed at joint A. So, pag nag-joint A tayo, so this is again our Z-axis, this is our Y, and this is our X. At joint A. So, for joint A, let's go back. So, ang joint A natin, meron tayong AZ. So, our AZ is 600. 600 pounds. Then what else? Meron din tayong AX. AX, it is 300. So it is going that way, 300. What else? We also have AY. Our AY is 600. 600. Then our member forces. So ano mga members sa A? So we have AB. But we already solved it as 600 compression. So, lagay natin 600 compression. So, it is going in our joint. So, 600. So, what else? Meron din tayong member AC. So, our AC, it is here. Ayan. So, this is our AC. Then, what else? We have AD. AD. Then, lastly is we have AE. So, ang AE natin, it is somewhere here. AE. Ayan. Then, after that one, we can already do the components. So, ang components, let's use the slope triangle. So, bakit hindi tayo mag-XYZ? So, kung mapapansin nyo, yung AC natin, nasa plane ng x-axis, correct? So our slope triangle here would become, say this one is 8, then this one is also 8. So yung slope triangle natin here would be 1, 1 square root of 2. So we have a vertical component here na 1 divided by square root of 2 AC. Then we also have here na 1 square root of 2 AC. How about our AE? So, ang AE natin is again at the x-plane. So, we can just use slope triangle. So, dadalawa lang yung component natin dito. So, we have 4 and 8. So, this would be 1, 2 square root of 5. So, our components here, this would be 2 divided by square root of 5 AE. Then, meron din tayo dito na 1 divided by square root of 5 AE. Then, after our component, we can already proceed with summation forces F, X, Y, and Z. So, we will have summation forces X is equal to 0. Going to the front, positive. So, we have negative 300. Then we have the AD plus AD. Then what else? We have, oh sorry, negative. Negative pala kasi going to the back. Then minus 1 over square root of 2 AC. Then minus 1 square root of 5 AE. Then this is equal to 0 already. Then summation forces Y is equal to 0. Right positive. We will have 600 that is positive going to the right. Then we have yung 2 that is also positive. 2 square root of 5 AE. Then what else? Wala na. So this is equal to 0. Then summation forces Z is equal to 0 upward positive. So we have negative 600 plus 600. Then we have positive 1 square root of 2 AC. Then what else? So wala na. So this is equal to 0 already. So as you can see here, magka-cancel out to nito kasi 600 plus negative 600 plus 600, that is 0. So, ang AC natin, it would be equal to 0. So, this is also equal to 0. So, okay, so our AD, it is also equal to 0. And our AE, it is negative 670.82 pounds. So negative, it is in compression. So in summary, let's place it here. Ang AC natin, this is 0. Our AD also is equal to 0. Then this one, it is 670.82. So it is in compression. Kasi nga, it is negative, so compression. What will happen if I will do my joint here? So definitely, my member here is equal to 0, and this is also a 0. Because pag nag-summation forces XYZ ka naman dyan, you don't have any loads there. Wala din tayo external reactions. And our bar member here is also 0. Therefore, the other members would also be equal to 0. So how about here? This is 0, this is 0, this is also 0. So therefore, this is also 0. Ayan. And that's it. That is your space trap.